Hey, you guys, come on in here. It's Lisa Alexander, founder and executive director of Stand Up Survivor. I wanted to pop on real quick. I haven't been live in like a week. I feel like I miss you guys. Like, what's going on? But I wanted to pop on and talk a little bit about Now What November. So come on in here. Once you come in, please let me know where you are saying hey from. Let me know where you are checking in from so I can say hi. So I wanted to talk really quickly. I'm not going to hold it up too long, but Now What November? You know, as advocates, we encourage people to leave the abusive relationship, get out, get to safety. But then it's like, the now what? What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to survive? You talk about thriving. What does that look like? How do I even get there? And so I'm going to talk about that. Hey, Tanya, hey, I want to talk about that just for a few minutes. And I would love to hear your input as to how you are. Hey, Donna, what you're doing. How are you surviving? How are you thriving post abuse? Because the number one thing is run, save your life, get to safety, get yourself and your children to safety. Paramount of importance. No matter if you leave with everything, no matter if you leave with nothing, your life. Hey, James, I think I owe you an email. I don't. I know I do. I think I do. But anyway, so just focusing on getting yourself to safety is number one, right? Hey, Karen. Hey, you guys. So after that, then what? We kind of sometimes leave survivors hanging. So now what November, we are going to be talking to you guys about now what? How do I do life after? And so my first of advice is, first of all, it's okay to just be. It's okay to not have the answers. It's okay to not know what to do. There's no one size fits all blueprint for what you do after you leave an abusive relationship. It's not one size. Everyone, when I mean every individual, particular situation is different. It's different. Hey Nats, everyone is different, so no one can say this is what you should do. We would never dare tell you exactly how you should figure out your life after, okay? But I would encourage you to have some things in place. Let me tell you something. It's okay to just be. You have just gotten out of one of the most dangerous, one of the most traumatic situations of your entire life. If you just sit in the house and cry, if you just sit in that shelter and cry, if you just sit in your car and weep, that's okay. There is no rhyme or reason to how you should heal and how you should get over this. Literally, it's like your body is coming off of this chaotic situation that you've been in. It's okay to just take time and be. Safety first. Safety first, first, first. Second of all, what the heck do I do, Lisa? What do I do? It's okay to just be. Whether you find a church, whether you find a best friend's shoulder, whether you find somebody's couch, weep, cry, just take a moment, okay? So, absolutely, Karen, we did safety planning last month. Safety planning is integral. Once you get to the point of safety, what do you do? And it's okay to take time to just heal, to just feel. I am angry. I am pissed off. This is not what I signed up for. This is unfair. No one can even begin to know about the things that I survived. I couldn't even begin to put my words to form the pain that I've endured. You know, and people need to understand that. And I'm just here to tell you, from survivor to survivor, it's okay to just feel. I mean, when I tell you that I was angry, I was angry. I remember going to a friend's house and she had a punching bag in her garage. I said, can I just use it for a little bit? I put on headphones and I tore that punching bag up because I was angry. It was not fair. I married my first love, my sweetheart, my first everything, and I thought this was the way that life was supposed to be. But life dealt me a different hand and I was pissed off. It was unfair. Here I am alone with two children, ages 2 and 3. What the heck am I supposed to do? I don't have a job, I don't have money, I have nothing. So I beat the heck out of that punching bag. And I told myself when I walked out of that garage, after I got all that aggression out, all that anger, and it's okay to feel angry. You're already hurt. We know that. We know that. And so once I got that out, I made a decision. Okay, now I'm fighting for my whole life. I'm fighting for my children. I'm fighting to live. I'm fighting to survive. I'm fighting to thrive. Absolutely feeling emotionally drained, sleeping a lot. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, and so I was like, now I got to put my boxing gloves on in real life and fight for my survival, fight for my life, fight for my future. And so that was I just kind of diverted there, but taking the time to heal is very, very important. Hey, Whit, what's up, sis? If you got some advice, feel free to drop it in the comments. And I know you do amazing thing with Survivor, so of course, put it in the comments as well. So you just can't be afraid to feel, to sit, and to heal. I learned that from Dr. Lawson in my master's program, that it's okay to just sit in your feelings. I feel angry, I feel hurt. I got a couple tattoos. You know what I mean? I was upset. I was on a different level, and it's okay to feel just that. One of my saving graces was my faith. You know, finding, just being on the floor, crying out to God to save me, to help me figure out my mind again. And so it's okay to feel angry because you were violated in ways that you could probably never even tell some people. There's some things that happen that I'll never tell anybody because they were too embarrassing. So it's okay. So it's okay. Now what? I have to start my life all over as a single mom with children? What? I didn't plan this for my life. So I had to mourn the idea that my picture perfect married life, future plans was done. Devastated. I had to mourn that. I had to allow myself to mourn the death of my marriage. Okay, I did. I mourned it. It hurt. It sucked. Absolutely. But I had to realize that I couldn't stay there. You have ebbs and flows. You have ups and downs. You know, you have ups and downs, but you keep going, you know? I have to start, I have a 2 and 3 year old little boy and girl who are looking at me and saying, now what, mommy? So I had to figure out life. I had no education. He wouldn't let me finish school. I had no way to really figure out what I was going to do. So I had to decide for myself what I was going to do. Oh, that's devastating, Amanda. I'm so sorry to hear that. If you guys have found ways to heal and to process after, please put it in the comments. Everyone reads those comments. And if you have some things that you have done that have helped, please put it in the comments. Understand that you have to start life all over again, and that's okay. That's okay. Is it the way you planned it? No, it's not the way you planned it. That's just the way that it is now. So you don't lay down and die just because it didn't work out the way you thought it was. You get up and decide from this moment on what your life is going to look like. You have decided in your head. They don't get to determine how I eat, what I eat, how I dress, what time I go to sleep. They don't give me permission. It's now my time to decide. And so I love that, Jasmine. Self-defense classes, they will give you empowerment and strength and teach you how to protect yourself. I love that idea. So be okay with starting your life over. You decide, okay, well, this is the hand that life has dealt me. What am I going to do with it? You don't get to control another second of my joy, my peace, my happiness. From this moment on, I decide how I will find joy and peace for myself. Decide that for yourself. Now what? I know some people may be worried about safety. Safety is huge. You have to decide how you are going to stay safe. So, protecting yourself on different levels, moving to a different state, whatever you have to do to find a place where you can be safe, you do that. I love that. Got a new job, watch what I wanted on TV, cook what I wanted. And I smile when I say that because people don't understand how those things are completely controlled when you're in an abusive relationship. I remember like showering with the shower door closed, the cabinets in the kitchen, little things that I wasn't allowed to just do. I was now in control of again. Spiritual retreats, Donna, I love that. Started doing yoga, started running. I love that. So make sure that you are in a place where you can keep yourself and your family safe. I remember many nights I was very afraid, and he didn't even know where I lived. I would sit on the couch and look out the window and just be afraid because I had to protect my children. But you just do what you have to do and you keep going. Honestly, what helped me the most was therapy. Yes, I still have to learn and accept that it was not my fault. I love that. Therapy, listen, therapy, all day therapy. I love it. It's necessary. And just do it. I love that. I love that. I love someone just said, I can dress up in whatever color I want. I wear whatever I want. I love it. Absolutely. The little things I couldn't do before, I can do now. And to some people may never get that. Oh, hey, Yvette. Yes, Yvette joined the police department. Some people don't understand that little things like painting your nails the color you wanted to, or cutting your hair. I had to have my hair a certain way. I cut my hair off. Okay. They say when a woman's going to change her life, she cuts her hair. Oh, yeah. I cut mine all the way off and was so happy. Okay, so what else? Let's talk about the next thing. Couldn't even pick a color of a pillow for the couch. Yes, okay. Let me tell you something. When you find your freedom, you live it every moment of every day. I have this sign in my office, and I'm going to read it to you. It says, take time to do what makes your soul happy. And I've shared this with you guys before, but I remember every birthday. I'm rambling, y'all. I did not come on into the chit chat, but every birthday, it was about him. He would make every birthday hell. Well, I was gonna do this for you, but you did this. I remember one time my best friend came and took me to lunch, and we were supposed to leave at like 4 o'clock. So I came back on time and I was ready. See, I was gonna do this, but now you're later. I was gonna do this, but now, and I would every birthday I would be so devastated. I'd be just crying on the couch, you know. And then I decided when I left that relationship that every birthday after that was going to be, I was going to decide how my day was spent. And let me tell you something. I've celebrated like 10 birthdays since being divorced from him, and every one has been amazing. Why? Because I have chosen to make it that way. No one was going to be able to decide if I smiled or cried on that day but me. And so I took my power back when it came to stuff like that. So yeah, every birthday I plan something. My best friend will tell you, like, she always got to be on a cruise, or she always has to have a party, because I decide, you know, narcissists, how they do. They want to make everything about them. You decide for yourself what you do. Ooh, I started dating me. I love that. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's talk about that. I started dating me. So I wasn't ready to date right away. I was young. I knew that I wanted to get married again, right? So I started like going to the movies by myself, or going to dinner by myself. And let me tell you, the first time I freaked out. I was like, oh my gosh, people are going to look at me. I look so silly. No, now I love it. I will go by myself anywhere. I found my peace. I found my calm just being by myself. Learning to be alone is something that I had to learn to do. I remember when me and my children are finally on our own. It was just the three of us. I was afraid of the sounds in the house. I was afraid of everything, you know? And then I learned to embrace it, to celebrate it, because if it wasn't him yelling or cursing or breaking things, it was now my time to create my own sense of safety and peace. So that's what I did. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I can't believe how many of you guys can relate to the birthday thing. I can't believe it just, so if that was your experience, I encourage you, find joy in your own birthday. Celebrate yourself. You survived, and now you have every right to smile. All right. I am married now, Karen. I've been remarried for 4 years in December. We have a little girl who's going to turn 3 next month as well. And we can talk about dating, because I knew I wanted to date, but I was not ready. But I knew what I wasn't going to allow in a relationship, and that was going to be any type of abuse. Period. It wasn't going to happen. If it looked like you were going to be abusive, I stopped having a conversation with you. Don't tell me your exes were crazy. I don't want to hear it. None of that. I was so determined to not allow myself to get in that situation again. I protected myself and my children at all costs. And so I definitely dated. I kissed a few frogs, if we're going to be honest. I kissed a few frogs until I found the one that was meant for me. Oh, thank you, Laura Lee. I appreciate it. And that's just the truth. But I knew, and it was really important in the dating scene where, hey, Olivia, that you let them know, hey, this is what I'm coming out of, you know? So I can't tolerate this. I don't like to be yelled at. Don't use profanity at me. I don't like slamming doors. All of those things I had to be able to articulate to the person that I thought that, hey, this might work. Because they needed to know, as a survivor of trauma, there's just some things that can't happen. There's just some things that can't happen, and the right person for you will understand that. Sorry, y'all, I'm rambling. Okay, so let's talk about this part. It might be true that you might have be experiencing a trauma bond, but there's a way to move on past that trauma bond, huns. So there may be a time when you're going on in life and you're like, oh my goodness, I'm not doing so good. I failed at this. I didn't do good at this. You know, God, it took me 10 years to get a bachelor's degree. 10 years to get a bachelor's degree. He didn't want me to go back to school. So by the time I went back to school, I was already divorced with 2 children. It took me 10 years. So what? Who cares that it took you that long? Do it anyway. You know, I went and got my master's. I then went and did my doctorate. Just do it. There's nothing stopping you from being as amazing, as great as you were created to be. You don't let anybody stop you from doing that, no matter what they said. So is mine, Jennifer. Mine's the complete opposite now. Like, I'm like the crazy one. So anyway, I'm sorry, I'm getting so rambling. Your comments are so amazing. And so if you go forward and you find yourself like, I didn't do so great, or I failed this, or I dated the wrong person, I ended up back in an abusive relationship again, or I started school and I failed out, or so what? You've already seen the worst. You've done that. Keep going. Keep going. Don't stop. Just keep going. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, that's fine. Maybe this avenue will work over instead. Hey, Pilar, you're amazing. I love you. You're just such a great inspiration. So let me see. I'm sorry. Okay, so if you face any setback, that's okay. That setback is not the end. My friend, you have seen hell and you survived it. Keep going. Yes, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it, Laura Lee. There may be times where you feel like, you know what, who's gonna love me again, right? Well, let's talk. I mean, seriously, let's have the conversation, right? Well, they told me I was too ugly, too fat, too short, too stupid, too whatever. They lied. That's the end of the story. They lied. They told you those things to keep you down, to keep you staying with them, and no one would ever want you. That was a lie. Okay? Y'all heard me? They lied. They lied. And so I'm here to just counteract some of that with truth. You are amazing. You are worthy. You are beautiful. You are wanted. You can do amazing things in this earth. The world is waiting to hear your voice. Someone's survival depends on you using your voice. So don't, hey, Stacy, congratulations. That's awesome. That is so awesome. Someone is waiting for you, your survival story, to be their back, to say, oh my gosh, they did it. I can do it too. So don't let anything, let me just tell you something. I had to start to slowly counteract the truths of the lies that he told me with truth. I'm beautiful. I am worthy. Someone else will want me. I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. You know what I mean? And you just have to continue to counteract. You are more precious than rubies. That is facts. And so you just keep going. Counteract their lies with truth. You are worthy. You can do it. You will not fail. You may fall. Just like Denzel Washington said, fall forward. Just keep going. Don't stop. And don't tell them any of your plans. They don't need to know. They don't need to know. I remember my ex-husband said to me, oh, you think you're just so smart because you got all those degrees. I was like, no, you may think I'm so smart and I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. But I fought for this, and you don't get to minimize anything that I've done with myself, with my children, with my family. You don't even get to put your mouth on it because I did everything that you said I couldn't do. So keep going. Yes, I was afraid too, living in the house with all these noises I heard. Okay. And one thing I hear a lot of people say is, oh, I'll never date again, or I hate men, or I hate women. I want to just encourage you. And if that's your decision, that's your decision, of course. Do you? But I do want to encourage you that if you ever desire to be married again, or desire to date again, I would encourage you just not to give up on love altogether. Don't let one person ruin your hopes of and dreams that you desired for your life. Nah, don't give anyone that much power. Where my people at? Watching? Hey, Gay Tree, I'm Guyanese. Hey, where my people at? Love y'all out there. So just remember that you don't give anybody that much power to decide what you can and cannot do. You do it anyway. I got off track, you guys. I'm sorry. I got some notes here. So I write notes so that I don't get distracted, and then I get distracted. Okay. One of the most amazing things that I learned in my healing journey that still continues 10 years later is that I'm pretty amazing. I found out great things about myself. Like everything you said I wasn't, I found out like I'm really funny, or I'm a nice person, or I'm good to people. You know, they try to make you think you're crazy, or that something's wrong with you, or you're not as good as you think you are. You're not as smart as you think you are. You're pretty daggone amazing, if I do say so myself, ladies and gentlemen who are watching. So don't believe anything that they say. Discover who you are. Do you like, Gatry, inbox me, okay? What do you like to do? What do you like? Where do you like to go? How do you like to travel? What's your favorite color? What do you like to dress as? And I know it sounds simple, but if you've been there, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Discover new things about yourself. I am going to decide who I am from this moment on, and you be that person. You don't let them decide that for you. I always say those days are over. Period. Oh, thank you. Let's see. And so take the time to really like you all over again. Love yourself all over again. Despite everything that they said, despite everything that they've done, take time to know who you are. I love that, Gloria. That's good wisdom there. Take the time to know who you are, love who you are, find out who you are again, find out what makes you smile, find out what makes you happy, and do that thing. And do that thing. I've rambled long enough for you guys. For you, ladies and gentlemen. So if anybody has any comments, questions, put it in real quick. But other than that, thanks for popping in today. I just wanted to talk about Now What November. We see you, we hear you. We know that there's life after, and we know that you may be struggling to figure out how to get to life after, how to thrive after, how to be amazing after. But understand that there is so much more out there. Despite what they say, don't give up. Keep going. You are stronger than you know. Absolutely. All right, you guys. I will see you later. Thanks for hanging out with me. See ya.